For everything scary, I'm GMHaunts, and today I'm going to be ranking all of the Spirit Halloween 2021 in-store animatronics. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my second Halloween 2021 ranking video. Now, if you didn't know, a couple days ago I did my first ranking video with Home Depot. I ranked all of the Home Depot Halloween 2021 animatronics, which you should definitely go check that one out. That started off this whole series of ranking. Well, I'm here for part 2 of my ranking, and now I am turning my attention to Spirit Halloween. So for this video, I'm going to be ranking all of the Spirit Halloween 2021 in-store animatronics. Now, I know a lot of other people have been ranking all of the 2021 animatronics, including the unreleased online onlys. Now, I am not going to be ranking any of the online onlys. I know they were shown off in the Graveyard Shift teaser. Pumpkin Nester, possibly. Bloody Bag of Jokes was shown in there. Grave Grabbing Corpse was shown in there. The Ice Cream Clowns. There was a lot of online onlys shown off in the teaser, but I am not going to rank them in this video because I have not seen them. They haven't been released yet. I don't know what their phrases are going to be. I don't know what their emotions are going to be. We only have like a still shot of each one, so I haven't seen enough of them yet, so I'm not going to rank them in this video. However, I did go to Flagship Store on opening day, and I did get to see all of the in-store guys in person for the first time, so I feel like I have a good enough opinion since I got to see them in person to rank all of them on the same graph that I used for my Home Depot ranking. So I guess, without further ado, let's rank all of the Spirit Halloween 2021 in-store animatronics. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a different camera angle, the same one you saw in my Home Depot ranking, where you can see me from the side, so I can see what I'm doing on the screen here. So as you can see, I have the same exact chart that I used for Home Depot. Perfect, amazing, good, alright, and fail animatronic. And then at the bottom here, I have all of the images of the Spirit Halloween 2021, all of the in-store props. You can't see some of them get cut off on the screen, but you'll see as I go through. So I guess, let's get it started. So the first stock image I have right here is the 2021 Beetlejuice animatronic that is featured in the front theme for this year, the front ISC, the Halloween Factory assembly line. Now, if you've seen my videos of when he was officially released and my opinion on him, you know I'm not a huge fan of Beetlejuice as a character in the movie, just not a huge fan of it, so that does affect my opinion of him, because it's also like a thing where I don't really care about Beetlejuice, so I'm not like a huge fan of the animatronic, but I do think the detailing in the face on it is really good. The only thing I don't like about it is I think the side-to-side waist motion does get a little weird looking, and the hands are kind of in a strange position. So, honestly, I think I'm going to put this one at alright, at an alright animatronic. Not a huge fan of it, but it's not bad. It's just I'm not a huge fan of it. Next one, the Caretaker. Caretaker, definitely an interesting one for the season. If you saw my reaction to when he was officially released, you know that I said he was one of my favorites, if not my favorite of the season. Unfortunately, my opinion has changed on him since I saw him at Flagship on opening day in person, and then I ended up getting Mr. Howell. I like Caretaker, I do. But he is very strange. The bottom of his legs look a little weird because it's like a perfect square. The knees look really strange. Not a huge fan of his motion of like bringing the tombstone up. But I do think he's alright. So I'm going to put him at good because I do like him better than Beetlejuice. So I'm going to put him at good. Next one, Buzzsaw. Now, Buzzsaw is huge. When I saw him in person at Flagship, he was a lot bigger than I thought he was going to be. The Buzzsaw actually moves around. He has side-to-side motion, and his mouth moves up and down. Really realistic-looking face, like creepy-looking realistic face. So, honestly, I'm going to put him at good. Do like the Buzzsaw motion. I like the side-to-side, and I think he deserves to be at good. He's probably as good as the Caretaker. Next one, Henry Hustle. One of the most interesting animatronics we got for 2021. Holding the cards, that pop-up head motion with the evil face that pops up. Seeing this guy in person, he was a little bit broken at the Flagship store. His springs weren't going up all the way, so the second head wasn't popping up all the way, but you still could get the effect. Really, really cool. I love the color scheme of the black and red. I love the spade and the heart design that is on his outfit. Really, really cool. Love that classic clown face that he has. So honestly, I really, really like this one. I think it's one of the most unique clowns that we've gotten in past years. So honestly, I'm going to put him at amazing. Really, really like Henry Hustle. I might be able to pick him up for the season. Next one is Night Stalker, the scarecrow with the side-to-side moving head that kind of shakes, maniacal laughing that gets crazier as it goes. It's not bad. The only thing I would say about him, seeing him in person, he's very small, very short. He's about the same height as Miserable Marie, which if you've seen her, she's very short. I have her. 5 foot tall is not great, and he is very small. So honestly, I don't know. I like him better than Beetlejuice, so I think I'm gonna put him at good. I think under the right lighting, he could look good, but I don't know, not a great one. Next one is Grimm, one of the most exciting and interesting animatronics we got of the season, because he features servo motors that give him a really realistic sense of motion. His head kind of moves around really cool. He has eyes that are not LCD or digital. They actually are just LEDs that move around with servo motors. His arm and his waist also move. Really, really cool. He's retailing for $279.99, $280, but I think for the servo motors he features, really, really cool, and I love the phrases he has. Honestly, I'm going to put him at amazing. I think those servo motors really make him look good, and I think he's as good as Henry Hustle. Next one is W. Wraith, one of my least favorites of the season for 2021. Now, this is just an in-store box only. He's not featured in the theme for this year or the IACs. He's meant to just be a filler in-box only animatronic. So unless your store is missing an animatronic, you wouldn't get to see him in person unless you see him in the box. Honestly, not a huge fan of him. I think under the right lighting, maybe he could be good, but honestly, I'm going to put him at all right next to Beetlejuice. Not one of my favorites for the season, just because I don't really like the motion of him. I think it would have been cooler to see a face that gets illuminated in the cloth. I think that would be really, really interesting. But with just this motion and blue LEDs, not a huge fan of him. Next one is the Killer Clowns from Outer Space officially licensed Shorty animatronic. Now, I really, really like Shorty. I love Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Obviously, classic horror film that everyone knows about if you're a horror fan. Very, very good. And they took Shorty and brought him to life in an animatronic and featured him in the side ISC, the Halloween Factory showroom, with the Trick or Treat Sam animatronic. Honestly, I really like the detail on it. I think the face looks really accurate to the movie, and I love how they captured the cartooniness of the movie and brought it into an actual animatronic. I wouldn't necessarily call it amazing, but I would call it good. So I'm going to put Shorty in the good category because I think he fits in with the rest of the guys in there. Next one is the life-size, officially licensed Ghostface animatronic. It is a reskin of the Hauntress. It just pops out from the side. Again, same exact motor that the Hauntress featured last year. Instead, this one is Ghostface, and he has a knife in his hand, while the Hauntress had nothing in her hand. It's not great, and he is very small. That was one of the things. I think he's way too small to be Ghostface. Ghostface is meant to be a life-size person and always changes in the Scream movies on who he's supposed to be underneath the outfit. But he's very, very small in person when I saw him at the flagship store. So I don't think he's that amazing. He's cool to see that we got a life-size Ghostface, especially since Scream 5 is coming out this year. But honestly, I'm going to have to put him in all right. Not one of my favorites for the season. And I think he fits in with W. Wraith and Beetlejuice. Next one is Evelyn Leach, the bride holding the groom's head in her hand. Again, she's not the biggest animatronic ever, but she's not like as small as Ghostface is. She's a little bit bigger. I don't know. I think the detailing on her face is really, really good. I know a lot of people were saying that the groom's head sucks. Honestly, I don't think so. I actually really like the groom's head. I think it kind of has a cartooniness to it, which I like on the groom head. Overall, she's not bad. I like the idea. We don't get a lot of bride animatronics in current day. We used to in the past, but nowadays they kind of stopped doing it. So it was cool to see Evelyn Leach get released, and it was cool to see her in flagship. She only features crying. I think it would have been cool to see her actually say things and have actual phrases. So at the same time, not as bad as Ghostface, W. Wraith, and Beetlejuice. So I'm going to put her at good. Not one of the best animatronics of the season, but I think she's alright. Next one is the Pennywise Sewer Grate animatronic. Obviously, in 2019 in the SS Riptide, we saw the life-size Crazy Crate Pennywise. Well, Crazy Crate got back to work on this and now brought him into the sewer grate, where he pops out of a sewer grate. It's not amazing, I'll say that. It's sort of strange to see him being popped out of a sewer grate. I know that's his thing. He pops out of a sewer in the movies. That's what he comes from, the sewer. But at the same time, I really don't know how you would display him in a room or in a display, because he's giant, he's bulky in a sewer, and it's kind of weird to see a sewer that comes out of the ground. I'm just not a huge fan of it. So honestly, I'm going to put him at all right. Not one of the best animatronics we've seen for the season, but he's still cool to see Pennywise return in an officially licensed prop. Next one, Harriet Hustle. Obviously related, the daughter of Henry Hustle, which I think is really, really neat to see they're kind of connecting storylines. I was really excited to see Harriet in store at Flagship because obviously she hasn't released as of the time of recording, and she hadn't released as of Flagship opening. So I was really excited to see what her phrases would be, what she would do, and I gotta say, I was slightly disappointed. All she does is swing back and forth and her head turns side to side. I like the head turning. I think that was unique to see in a swinging animatronic, but at the same time, she didn't have any phrases. All she does is laugh, which I think you could have done a lot more with it. I think you could have given her phrases and she would have been a lot better. But at the same time, I like the connection to Henry Hustle. I like the outfit on her. And I think it's cool to see our first female clown, which I like that. So honestly, I want to put it at, yeah, I want to put it at good. Because honestly, I think it's better than Pennywise, Ghostface, W-Wraith, and Beetlejuice. But it's definitely not better than Henry Hustle and Grimm. So I'm going to put her at good. Next one is Grimm, or I mean, not Grimm, I was just talking about Grimm, Mr. Dark, probably the fan favorite of the season, starting at, I think, like 3 foot, lunging up to 8 feet tall, with a scissor mechanism made by Techie Toys. Absolutely love Mr. Dark. I think he's so cool. I love the idea behind him. The only thing I don't like about him is that I feel like he's going to break very easily, and supposedly the Flagship one was already taken out of the store because it already broke. But at the same time, I love the detailing on him. I love that scissor mech use on the animatronic. So honestly, I'm going to put him at amazing. Really, really like Mr. Dark, and I think he's put together really, really good. And I love the idea of a scissor mech using a Spirit Halloween animatronic. Next one is Headless Jack, the in-box only pumpkin animatronic. Again, he's not meant to be put into the themes or the IACs. He's an in-box only animatronic, so you're not going to see him unless you see him in the box. Not great. He can be put at 7 feet tall or extended to 9 feet tall, which is interesting. Now, I know he's not technically an animatronic because he has no motion. He's just a static. But not a huge fan of him. He looks really, really cheap. So, honestly, I'm going to put him at, I don't know, maybe he's a fail. Nah, I don't think he's that bad. Yeah, actually, I don't know. That's a tough one for me, honestly. I might have to put Headless Jack in fail. Because, no, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to put him in alright. I'm going to be nice. Because maybe he's alright. Next one is Experiment 4, the hand jumping out of the box jump scare. Now, I know a lot of people were, like, saying that this guy sucks, and no one really likes him. I don't have that much of a problem with him. He does look cheap, but at the same time, he's meant to just be a cheap jump scare. He's only $100. He's the same price as Jumping Spider. I think he's sort of meant to be with Jumping Spider as just a little hand jump scare. Obviously, you know something's going to come out of the box, and it's sort of weird. I don't really understand the point of a red monster hand popping out of a crate, but he's not bad, so I'm going to put him at alright, especially for the $99.99 price tag. He's not the worst animatronic. The next one is the Baphomet, $299.99, $300, the same price as Mr. Howell, who I bought at Flagship. I absolutely love Baphomet. I have to put him in perfect, because I think Baphomet is such an awesome animatronic. I love the ram skull. I love that he's 7 feet tall. He has such a huge size to him. I love the sickle or the scythe that he's holding. I think the voice acting is some of the best we've seen in recent years. I love his outfit, and overall, Baphomet is an awesome animatronic. I love him, love him, love him. And definitely one of my favorites. I plan to try to pick him up at my local store, so look out for that. I'm going to try to buy him at my store because I love Baphomet. I think he's so, so cool. Next one is Ophelia, the one we saw in the teasers, and then the ghoul kind of pops out from behind her very slowly. Again, this is another one that I was really excited to see when we went to Flagship, and I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed. In Flagship, she's very, very small. I thought she was going to be a lot bigger than she actually is. She hasn't been released as of the time of recording. She's only at the Flagship store, but she's really, really small, and in my opinion, she looks a little cheap for my liking. So honestly, I'm going to put her at good. I think the phrases are nice on her, but she looks cheap. She's very, very small, and just not a huge fan of her, so she's going to go in good category. Next one is Wacky Mole, the Return of Wacky Mole Clown for the 2021 season from 2013. I don't really know how to rank this one because, like, obviously, the original Wacky Mole Clown, who I have back there behind me, is my favorite animatronic of all time. So I don't really know how to rank this because he's not even a reskin, or like what we saw with Uncle Charlie, where he was like a rehaul. He's the same animatronic, just brought back. Instead, he has plastic shoes and a redone speaker, so he sounds a lot better. But honestly, I don't know how to rank this one because he's the same animatronic, so I don't know. Obviously, he's amazing because I love Wacky, so I guess I have to put him in perfect. But honestly, I don't really know how to rank him because he's basically the original. And the last in-store animatronic of the 2021 season is Mr. Howell. easily by far my favorite animatronic of the Spirit Halloween 2021 season, including in-store and online only. I think Mr. Howell is fantastic. I was able to buy him at the flagship store for $299.99, $396. I have him set up behind me. He's so gigantic when you get him home. He's huge. And as of right now, I'm the only person in the world who has him, because they only had one in flagship and he hasn't started shipping out yet, so I'm the only one who has him. Definitely recommend him. He's so awesome, and I think, in my opinion, he's definitely worth a $300 price tag. Love, love, love Mr. Howell, and he's so huge. I love the head turning back, everything about him. I love him, so I'm going to have to put him in the perfect animatronic category. Ladies and gentlemen, there's my ranking of the Spirit Halloween in-store 2021 animatronics. That's going to wrap it up. You can get all of my opinions for all the animatronics this year, so I guess let's cut to the outro. So it's going to wrap up my video ranking the entire Spirit Halloween 2021 in-store animatronic collection. Again, let me know in the comments, once all of the online onlys are released, would you like me to see a video ranking all of just the online onlys? I didn't want to include them in this because I haven't seen videos of them yet, so I don't really know what their phrases are, what they actually do, so I don't feel like I have enough of an opinion yet to actually rank them, but I do have an opinion to rank all of the in-stores. Again, let me know, do you want to see me rank all of the other companies? So far, I've done all the Spirit Halloween 2021 in-store animatronics and the whole Home Depot 2021 collection. What else would you like me to see? Would you like me to see rank Costco's lineup, Lowe's lineup? What other companies would you like me to see rank? Ladies and gentlemen, remember, as always, for everything scary, I'm GMHaunts. I see you guys later for more ranking Halloween 2021 videos. Goodbye.